Yeah, kia ora. How's it going? Yeah, today I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about Harakeke or flax and using it to make cordage. Now, Harakeke is a resource that was and still is treasured by Maori. As a result, there is some tikanga or customs that are attached to collecting Harakeke. Yeah, so first of all, we only collect flax during daylight. Second of all, acknowledgement to Tāne Mahuta, the gods of the forest, or god of the forests, that Maori acknowledge for growing this. So traditionally a Karakia or prayer is said when gathering this. In my description I've included the Karakia that was given to me when I first started working with Harakeke. We wash our hands before and after dealing with Harakeke. One of the main reasons for that is the sap or resin of this does have a bit of effect on your gut. So if you've got it on your hands and then you eat something and you get that resin in your tummy, you will end up with potentially a bit of the old runny bum. So we try to avoid that. Second, any Harakeke we don't use, we return back to the area or plant that we gathered it from, so that when it breaks down the nutrients can be used from the plant. I'll also include a picture once I stop talking, and that'll show you what shoots or leaves of the plant we do gather and what shoots and leaves of the plant we don't. Now I've got the Harakeke sitting on a bench beside me. So the Harakeke is sitting on a bench. The reason for that is we don't step over Harakeke when we're working with it. If we're working with it weaving indoors, we'll even take our shoes off. But today I'm outside, the ground's wet, I'm wearing my boots. Harakeke is on the bench above the ground, and as a result I'm not going to be stepping over it. So that's the tikanga or customs out of the way. What I want to do today is show you one way of making cordage. Now this wasn't necessarily the way that the Maori used the Harakeke to make the cordage, but it's a way that's quite quick and simple if you need to make something or want to make something when you're out and about. Tools you're going to need is a knife to cut the leaf, a sharp fingernail, or a mussel shell for scraping some of the pith off the back of the leaves in order to get a nice clean tight weave. So here is a Harakeke leaf. This is the end that's been cut from the plant, and this is the distal end. Okay, what we're going to do, we've got a central seam there. We're going to go about halfway down the seam and we're going to split this part off the leaf. So I'm left with this piece here. Now if we start working from the outside of the leaf, the thin end, we'll end up with shorter fibres. So I'm going to take off about 8 or 9 millimeters off the side. So I'm left with a piece about 15, 18 millimeters wide. Okay, all I'm going to do is with my nail, I'm going to crease and pull a piece off that's about 3 millimeters thickness and work it off the leaf. Okay, so now I've got a piece of leaf that's 150, 160 centimeters long. Okay, now the end of the leaf that's thick, you can feel it's got like stuff, the matrix of the leaf attached to it. That stuff's surplus to our requirements. For this sort of work with thin pieces of Harakeke, I just use my thumbnail. You can see the colour of it. I've been working with Harakeke earlier, and I just scrape the leaf through and peel off that material there. Okay, so do that twice, and what I've ended up with is a piece of fibre that is very supple. Okay, I'll pick a piece that's somewhere along the length, preferably not in the middle, and I just start spinning it. So I'm holding it with this hand, and I'm twisting it away from me with this hand, and you'll see sooner or later it twists over and forms a little loop. See that little loop? Okay, here's where it gets a bit difficult to show you. I'm going to twist the top strand away from me towards you, and then I'm going to, with my index finger, reverse the position so that the bottom strand now becomes the top strand. So I'm winding the top strand away and then winding it back towards me. This is called the reverse twist. There's a really good video using some bark by Coal Cracker Bushcraft. He tends to use barks for this sort of thing. I find Harakeke is perfect. I've used this line to make fishing lines to catch eel or tuna. Tuna, for those of you who aren't from Aotearoa, New Zealand, tuna is the Maori word for eel. These grow pretty big in here. The largest eel I've seen caught was as long as me. I'm just over 6 feet long, so that's a pretty decent sized tuna. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing that away from me, bring it back. I'm just going to try moving the camera angle. I won't be able to talk while I'm doing that because I'll be holding the camera in my mouth, but we'll see how we go so you can see it from my point of view. Stand by. Hopefully that's okay. Now I'm just going to pause you for a moment while I work my way down the length of this piece. Reason being is I want to show you how to join in new pieces to make your Harakeke rope stronger and longer. Actually, we can add another piece in now. So the first of all, the test to see whether your reverse twist is working, you can see how tight that is it's not unwinding. Because what happens is when you twist it away from you, reverse that top strand away from you, and then bring it back, it unwinds ever so slightly and locks in on the next piece, causing it to stay. It's not unwinding. It's not unwinding at all. Right, so I'll just get a second piece. If I was weaving or using thicker pieces, I could use the mussel shell instead of my nail to scrape the Harakeke. It's the perfect tool for it, which is ideal, so we can see the individual fibres in the Harakeke. Okay, again what I'm going to do, I'm going to find a piece towards the thinner end, not in the centre. So see, I've got easily 20 centimetres overlap on this side and the rest of this piece coming down here. I'll get my piece of cord, and I can see this side here is the short side of my two pieces, so I'm going to put the longer part of my cord on here. I'm just going to twist the two pieces away from me and back towards myself. Two pieces away. So now you're twisting two strands of flax with each twist, and I'll just do this for half a dozen more twists and show you the join and show you how the flax has suddenly become, or the thread has become a bit thicker because it's got twice the number of fibres, so it's now twice as strong. 3, 2, 1. So you can see that join there. We can see here was the one strand and here is the two strands. Okay, we could add another piece in there, but for what I want to do today, that's plenty thick enough. So I'm just going to keep working away for 5 minutes and then come back and show you what I've ended up with. So I'm reaching the end of my piece of Harakeke. My goal for tonight is to actually make a pendant for my friend Nick. He's in the States, and yeah, I promised I'd send him one a little while ago. So yeah, I'm running out of sunlight here, so don't really want to be filming inside tonight. Seen the last two videos from my shed, so that's not really where I wanted to be doing this channel from. So I'm just finishing it off now. As you can see, reaching the end. Got it's plenty long enough for what I want. So all I'm going to do for now is just tie an overhand knot in the end, just to stop it unraveling. Cut it off, and now about 15 minutes I've made a piece of cordage about 1 metre long, so it's not too bad. I'll come back to you with the pendant and I'll show you how I'll tie it. Okay, so what I have here is a piece of Pounamu, or New Zealand Greenstone, found on the beach at Harakeke on the west coast of the South Island. I'm just threading it onto the cord, and then all I'm going to do is tie a fisherman's knot. And we can adjust it to whatever length Nick wants. So with the fisherman's knot, we can pull it in, pull it out to whatever length Nick wants. So Nick, this is for you. Hope it gets to you over in America nice and safe, and I look forward to catching up with you face to face one day. Anyway, all the best, thanks for watching, and have a good day.